Throughout the second half of the 20th century, television networks controlled the narrative in a mass society paradigm with the establishment newspapers. For decades, these centralized, tightly controlled venues were the only source of news and information for people to consume. Dr. Steve Turley explains the transition from mass society to network society.
The world has changed in such a way that their monopolization over information is unraveling. And that's because of the rise of what's called the network society, which is a fundamentally different kind of social order that's rapidly replacing the old mass society that dominated the world in the 19th and 20th centuries, the centuries that gave us big media. So you see, in the industrial age of mass society, the big media conglomerates were able to monopolize and disseminate the information we had access to. I mean, do you remember the days of, the three news channels, ABC, NBC, CBS, and your big city newspapers, New York Times, Washington Post, Chicago Tribune, LA Times, right? That was the age of what's called mass society. It's the kind of society that characterized the 19th and 20th centuries and allowed these big media companies to basically monopolize the information we had access to. What we have to understand is that society is waning. And a new social order is rising, one that scholars call the network society. And the network society relates us to one another by virtue of networks, specifically the internet, by which we can communicate with one another directly through instantaneous digitalized information. Because news and information has been digitalized, and it's in a sense been democratized. It's been decentralized and distributed through global networks, such as CNN, ABC, the New York Times. They can't control the information anymore.
Network society is replacing the mass society model where private people with a cell phone would be the first on the scene of any major event and be able to stream it live to their followers and the rest of the world.
Legacy media are nowhere near as relevant as anyone with an iPhone at any time can be the most relevant journalist in the world at the time. I think we're seeing that transition that's been happening for a long time, but that real transition to just independent, good people doing good work.
Online television platforms have expanded from YouTube to more than half a dozen robust contenders, all providing space for independent content creators to produce television content that formerly would never have been accommodated by the legacy television networks or their local over-the-air broadcast affiliates.
It's behind the scenes. It's what I can't say on YouTube. Also, YouTube frowns on nudity, and that's how I live about 80% of my life. So there is some nudity on Vimeo. That's not really the point of it. The point is to show you guys what it's really like behind the scenes. Some things that are not quite politically correct, and sometimes we're nude.
This documentary will attempt to highlight some of the literally thousands of independent channels now available to television viewers. Some have higher production level, others are more simple. This list is by no means complete, and viewers are invited to share in the comments section below their favorite channels that may not have been mentioned here. All links to the channels mentioned herein are provided in the description box below. Bright Sun Films is based in Toronto, Canada. The small documentary filmmaking studio produces short documentary series such as Abandoned, Cancelled, Bankrupt, and much more. Bright Sun Films is available exclusively on YouTube. Former police officer Jeremy Souza and his wife Melissa have established a homestead in Bonners Ferry, Idaho. They live debt-free and homeschool their children while self-producing well-done reality TV show-style mini-documentaries of their life and accomplishments. They have really good screen presence and are fun to watch. Their videos are archived exclusively on YouTube. The Photographer Academy is the largest photography training company in Europe, with thousands of pro photographers, as well as artists and hobbyists making use of the award-winning training to get inspired or instructed every day. They tutor everything from the basics through how to establish and maximize a business with a wide range of photography genres. The Photography Academy streams and offers many free tutorials on YouTube. Science vs. Cinema was created by astrophysicist Andy Howell and filmmaker James Darling. Science vs. Cinema reviews the scientific accuracy of new and classic movie films. They also produce original film-focused and science-focused web content. Science vs. Cinema is available exclusively on YouTube. After losing her house in California because it became too expensive to live there, Morgan May set out to travel the country and live in a Ford Bronco with her 3 dogs. Her reality show mini-documentaries are inspirational as she shows the real-life challenges of living on the road and is an example on how to cope with self-doubt in order to excel and achieve life goals. Unstoppable Morgan is available exclusively on YouTube. Aubrey Wilson shares her adventures in sailing to ports around the world in a professionally done, independent video production series entitled Sailing Miss Lonestar. This is a fun and entertaining series to spend some time on. Her primary and unedited channel is on Vimeo, but many short clips are also available on YouTube.
Let's get into this. Pow!
I need you all to get those sweet, precious, bad-ass kids out the room so us grown folks can have a quick dialogue and see what's really going on in the mind of Yuri in Kazakhstan. And I'm going to give my opinion. All of it. Surely. As we go.
You better be back for the next episode. Otherwise, I'll be coming round your house.
It was a damn good show. Yeah.
Stay free.
Alison Morrow quit her TV news career in 2019 after 12 years as a reporter in various establishment news stations. She is the recipient of 2 Emmy Awards, as well as the Society of Professional Journalists Sigma Delta Chi Award for Excellence in Journalism, and now produces her own news commentary programs on Locals.com and shares some brief snippets on YouTube. Crystal Ball and Sagar and Jetty, formerly from Hill TV, now co-host their own channel. Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar is a fearless anti-establishment YouTube show and podcast, which debuted in June 2021. Breaking Points is available on Supercast, Spotify, Rumble, and YouTube. Candace Owens now has a new show called Candace on the Daily Wire. The weekly show delves into the political and cultural issues of the day with her signature blend of intelligence and humor. Candace features celebrity interviews and panel discussions with the world's most influential thought leaders and cultural mavens. Her videos are archived on YouTube. Carl Vernon is an author, personal coach, and podcaster. He has been coaching for over a decade, helping people overcome stress, anxiety, and people problems. His books are sold internationally and have been translated into 15 languages. His videos are available on BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, Vimeo, and YouTube. Brett Weinstein and his co-host Heather Heying present engaging commentary on social and political events in his Dark Horse podcast, which features videos about adaptive evolution, good governance, and breakdown of civil discourse. Along with his brother Eric Weinstein, Brett is among the people referred to collectively as the intellectual dark web. The Dark Horse podcast is available on BitChute, Odyssey, and YouTube. Lynette Diamond Hardaway and Rochelle Silk Richardson are biological sisters from North Carolina. They started vlogging in 2015 and became internet sensations. As former Democrats, these 2 conservative women voice their opinions about media bias and repetitive political tactics that Americans are tired of being subjected to. They have a presence on Rumble, YouTube, and their own social media platform called ChatDit. The Duran is a news media platform that advances a realpolitik position. The Duran is not right, left, or center. It is a media site that focuses on a pragmatic analysis of stories in the news. The Duran is part of DRN Media, plc, a public limited company based in Nicosia, Cyprus. The Duran is available on Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, and Locals. Franchot Pearson lives in Chicago, Illinois. He provides commentary on Christian and current events, using clever note card-based format and pictures from his cell phone to encourage viewers to follow along, pay attention, and more closely consider his points. Mr. Pearson's video commentaries are available on Rumble and YouTube. The Hodge Twins, also known as the Conservative Twins, are an American stand-up comedy and conservative political commentary duo consisting of twin brothers Keith and Kevin Hodge. The twins started out as YouTubers, but in 2016 branched out to live stand-up comedy shows as well. The Hodge Twins videos are available on Rumble and YouTube. The Hoover Institution is situated at Stanford University, USA. Their channel on YouTube hopes to encourage discussions, generate ideas, and disseminate information which will help secure and safeguard peace, improve the human condition, and limit government intrusion into the lives of individuals. Their channel is streamed on YouTube. Comedian Jimmy Dore is both outrageous and outraged, bothersome and bothered. He provides political commentary on corporate media and establishment politicians and is one of the fastest rising stars in comedy today. The Jimmy Dore Show is a crucial, profane, passionate voice for progressives and free thinkers in 21st century America and has channels on Rumble and YouTube. Joe Rogan is a stand-up comic, mixed martial arts fanatic, psychedelic adventurer, and host of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, a long-form conversation with a wide range of guests from all subject matter. His full-length programs are distributed exclusively on Spotify, while shorter segments are posted to Vimeo and YouTube. Johnny Massacre is a DJ, producer, rapper, and YouTuber. He is originally from the UK but is currently living in Japan. His subject content ranges from reviews of superhero movies to the U.S. political scene from a conservative perspective. As a political commentator, he appears to understand U.S. civics and government much better than even the average American. He streams videos on Rumble and YouTube. Lauren Chen, formerly known as Roaming Millennial, is a Canadian political commentator on YouTube and EV Magazine contributor. She presents daily commentary on news and events from a Christian conservative perspective. She has a channel on BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, and YouTube. Lauren Southern is a Canadian journalist, author, and documentary filmmaker. She is well known for her films Farmlands, Borderless, and most recently, Crossfire. Southern is dedicated to her peaceful advocacy of exposing corruption and speaking up for the silent majority who deserve a voice. She has a channel on BitChute and YouTube, as well as a dormant channel on Vimeo. Michael Moore is an American documentary filmmaker, author, and podcaster catering to the political left. His most recent production, a documentary entitled Planet of the Humans, shows the hypocrisy and unsustainability of the current green energy movement and has made many leftists in the environmental movement angry with him. While conservatives may have a difficult time listening to his leftist views, he does frequently speak truths people from all political spectrums can universally agree with. His podcasts are available on YouTube in audio-only format. Dave Rubin is an author, comedian, and TV personality best known for his political commentary. He is the host of The Rubin Report, a top-ranking talk show recognized as one of the most influential spaces for candid conversations about politics, polarizing issues, current events, and more. The Rubin Report is available on BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, and Locals. Russell Brand is an English comedian, actor, radio host, and vlogger. His videos explore new ways to connect with ourselves and one another and how to elevate our consciousness through meditation. He is an astute political analyst who approaches topics from neither the left or the right. His primary podcast in long form is available at Luminary, and shorter clips are posted at Rumble and YouTube. Dr. Steve Turley is an internationally recognized scholar, speaker, and author. His videos, podcasts, and writings on civilization, society, culture, education, and the arts are widely renowned and can be accessed at both Rumble and YouTube. Sydney Watson is an independent writer, journalist, and Australian-American political commentator. Originally from Australia, Sydney now lives in Texas. She produces short commentaries on daily political and social events. Sydney Watson has channels on Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, and Subscribestar. Every week, former police officer Brandon Tatum releases videos talking about politics, life, and success. As a black conservative, his voice and opinions are not usually popular among the mainstream, but this platform gives him an opportunity to share his beliefs with an appreciative and receptive audience. Tatum's videos are available on Rumble and YouTube. The Tom Woods Show is an online podcast of New York Times best-selling author and Liberty Classroom founder Tom Woods. Mr. Woods discusses current events and political positions from a conservative perspective and backs up his position with scholarly research and sourced material. His channel appears on Odyssey and YouTube. Trey King provides commentary on current news, comedy, everyday talk, and relationship marriage advice. He gives his opinion, all of it, surely. He presents his commentary from a traditional family values perspective and provides his content primarily on YouTube. Unherd aims to do two things: to push back against the herd mentality with new and bold thinking, and to provide a platform for otherwise unheard ideas, people, and places. Founder and lead interviewer Freddie Sayers does an excellent job of asking well-thought-out questions, remaining neutral and pushing his guests to develop their thoughts more fully in a long-format dialogue. Unherd is available on YouTube exclusively. David Freiheit, a self-described eccentric, is a lawyer from Quebec, Canada, who produces his own selfie-style video commentaries that question the status quo and calls out the hypocrisy of government leaders. He can be seen on the street or in his home, bringing out interesting and provocative ideas on a wide variety of subjects. He has a presence on YouTube and Rumble. Maria Zeee from Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, has put together an enlightening independent news channel called Zeee Media, where she engages interesting guests in long-format conversation on a whole host of current events topics. Her videos are available on Rumble and YouTube.
That part of the purpose of the FDA is to protect people from making choices because they're feeling fearful or scared. The FDA protects us from making a bad choice. That's part of their purpose, and they're losing that goal as well. I don't know what they're thinking. I think this is a terrible decision. I think Zach Brennan covered it well in Endpoints News, and I think we all need to think critically about this. This is a very important issue in regulatory science right now.
Dr. Seneel Dhand is an internal medicine physician, author, and certified personal trainer with a passion for lifestyle medicine and metabolic health. As a trained medical doctor, he has been continually censored by YouTube for so-called medical misinformation, simply for opening up a scientific debate on important issues of the day. He recently announced he will be closing his YouTube channel. His videos are all available on Rumble. Dr. Eric Berg, D.C., discusses the truth about getting healthy and losing weight. Dr. Berg specializes in healthy ketosis and intermittent fasting. He is the director of Dr. Berg's Nutritionals and a best-selling Amazon.com author. He covers a wide range of health topics in his videos on YouTube and Rumble. Pam Popper is the founder of Wellness Forum Health in Ohio. Her mission is to empower people to take control of their health by providing up-to-date information about how nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle choices impact health, longevity, and quality of life. She has channels on Odyssey, Rumble, and YouTube. Dr. Vinay Prasad is a hematologist, oncologist, and associate professor of epidemiology and biostatistics at the University of California, San Francisco. He provides videos on all matters of public health and has been very critical of the politicization of public health over the past 2 years. He posts his content on YouTube exclusively. Del Bigtree is the host of The Highwire. He is the producer of the documentary film Vaxxed, CEO of Informed Consent Action Network, and former Emmy-winning producer of The Doctors on CBS. He produces network-quality newscasts and long-format interviews on current event topics of the day. He no longer is active on YouTube or Odyssey. All current content is available exclusively on Rumble. The Epoch Times is an independent news organization that presents the top political stories of the day, in-depth and truthful reporting on the most important topics at the forefront of America. In their newsroom and reporting, the Epoch Times are committed to being honest, respectful, and compassionate. The Epoch Times has channels on Rumble and YouTube. The Hill is an American newspaper and digital media company based in Washington, D.C., that was founded in 1994. In 2020, it was the largest independent political news site in the United States. The Hill produces network-quality news and commentary clips that lean conservative, but do cover all political perspectives fairly. Their channel is streamed on YouTube. Newsmax, America's fastest-growing cable news channel in more than 70 million homes, gives you the latest breaking news from Washington, New York, Hollywood, and from capitals around the world, with top-rated shows featuring Sean Spicer, Greg Kelly, Grant Stinchfield, and Eric Bolling. Newsmax is available exclusively on YouTube. Next News Network is hosted by Gary S. Franchi Jr., who presents real news from all over the web. His award-winning media channel is known for original commentary on news about Washington, D.C. politics, government corruption, and national headlines. Next News Network has channels on Odyssey, Rumble, and YouTube. NTD is a New York-based global television network founded in 2001 by Chinese Americans who fled communism. NTD is free from all external influence, whether from political, financial, or special interests. They provide a high-quality network news-style viewing experience, and their content is available on Rumble and YouTube. Real America's Voice delivers news programs and live event coverage that capture the authentic voice and passion of real people all across America. Real America's Voice provides a platform for audiences to be part of the story by collating independent content producers on their platform. Real America's Voice is available on Rumble and YouTube. Stu Peters is an American radio and television host. His radio show is called The Stu Peters Show, which airs weekly on redvoicemedia.com. Peters provides a network news-style viewing experience and covers hard-hitting current topics of the day. Stu Peters has been deplatformed from YouTube but is still providing updated content on Rumble. The World is One News examines global issues with in-depth analysis. With their global headquarters in New Delhi, they present unbiased news on the hour, by the hour, with journalists who are neutral to the core and nonpartisan when it comes to the politics of the world. WION has channels on Rumble and YouTube. Aaron Ra is an American author, podcaster, and atheist activist. Mr. Ra is not a radical militant atheist, but rather approaches his criticism of religion, specifically that founded on the Judeo-Christian Bible, calmly, with reason, and well-documented scientific explanations that back up his position. Christians and Jews with an open mind can learn more about the world around them and examine their own faith more deeply by considering some of the points Ra presents in his videos, which are available exclusively on YouTube. Digital Hammurabi is a public outreach digital humanities project of Assyriologist Megan Lewis. She is assisted by her husband, Dr. Joshua Bowen, Ph.D. While not Bible scholars, the two do have a strong background in the pre-biblical era of ancient Mesopotamia and have engaging guests to discuss all aspects of the religious texts, as well as ancient Sumerian texts, customs, and histories. Their channel is streamed on YouTube. Dr. Ray Haggins, Ph.D., is a former Pentecostal preacher who has discovered the roots of spirituality in Africa and how the Holy Bible was used to co-opt those ancient religious beliefs as a means of control and subjugation of the African people. He has a channel dedicated to his teachings on Africa and the history of the Bible, and a second channel which seeks to aid men, women, and children in improving their quality of life by increasing their spirituality and God consciousness. His channels are available on YouTube. For over 30 years, Santos Bonacci has been studying the ancient works, researching, compiling, and translating to text to produce an easier-to-understand compendium of astrotheology and syncretism. Astrotheology is a study of ancient religious spiritual truths as told in the stories of the constellations of the zodiac. Syncretism shows how all the ancient legendary stories, myths, Bibles, fairy tales, etc., all have one simple common origin. His channel is available on YouTube. ScholarVid's channel features debates and discussions from a wide range of scholars on a wide range of subjects, centered around contributing to the dissemination of knowledge with regards to the religious phenomenon, in order to promote the debate about how religion impacts the human condition. Their videos are archived exclusively on YouTube. Finally, there is this channel, WFFJ-TV, which is a project of the Fort Fairfield Journal, a hard-copy print newspaper for Fort Fairfield, Maine. Fort Fairfield Journal and WFFJ-TV do not censor news and provide a platform for opposing viewpoints to be considered within the context of highly researched and documented stories. WFFJ-TV is available on Rumble and YouTube. Again, if you want to mention your favorite alternate media channel, please share it in the comments below.